there must be so much talent that's untapped in our communities.
Like, how much talent is leaving where we live to go south or north?
Giant, I think it's safe to say, really well established in Northamptonshire. Maybe not so much in Milton Keynes, and the agency landscape there is always changing.
I was really excited by the challenge. I think 2025 is going to be really going to push your business where you want it to go.
Yeah,
And I'm not on about this.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I've been working on that.
we would make a good front row, actually, us three.
Yeah.
This episode of All Things Business, the podcast, is brought to you by digital media partner DFA Law. DFA Law, providers of expert and dedicated legal advice to businesses and families since 1838. DFA Law, the law firm for life.
Gentlemen, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Ben.
Thank you very much.
So, for our avid listeners, this is a bit of I'm not going to say double act, but we've gone into the transfer market and we've got ourselves a couple of super strikers.
Don't say two for the price of one either, for goodness sake.
You buy one, get one free.
That's it, yes, yeah.
So, for those that perhaps don't realise, the podcast is under the brand of All Things Business, but we're part of the Augmented Group, of which Giant is the agency part. So, first of all, I'm going to start with you, Chris.
Okay.
You've joined us as head of sales
Yes, I have. So
at All Things Business. So, just for people that may or may not know, you just give us a bit of a
insight how it's happened and my journey to get to this point.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I've known yourself, Ben, for must be 3 or 4 years now. Background was hotels in the town, one of the major hotels in the town centre, as a sales manager there.
You can say who it is.
Yeah, the Park Inn, which is now the Mercure.
Was the moat house for all of the older
and
people listening.
The Crichton. So yeah, I think a lot of people know it as the moat house in town.
Really good hotel in Northampton.
Yeah, so
he's hosted some of our awards and stuff there.
Yeah, so logistics a couple of weeks ago, and I think even
Education Awards.
Yeah. So it's a really good venue in town, and my main aim was really for the 3 years I was there was to grow it back to a local kind of venue, which I think it's lost its way a little bit prior to COVID, and obviously what happened in the country regarding needing hotels and bedrooms, etc. So my main aim was to really grow it locally back into a venue, which I think obviously just speaking to you, I did that, and it was time to move on to Northampton Town Football Club, which they asked me.
But you're a Coventry fan.
I'm a Coventry fan.
How did that happen?
So it was a tough transition to want another team to do well, but obviously being my home team, I was born in Northampton. Always want them to do well, but
so why do you support Coventry?
Yeah, that I was going to say.
The old man. The old man,
okay.
and that's how it should be in life. That's my that's how I was grew up. My granddad was Coventry season ticket holder, my old man, my brother, and so if I was to have any children,
do you know what? My first ever competitive game, my uncle took me to watch Coventry v Everton, and Kevin Campbell, at Highfield Road, the late Kevin Campbell. I was probably autograph hunting or something at the end. And he came over, great big smile, had a photo of me, which I can't find because I wanted to show him.
What would that have been?
Oh, I would have been... Actually, it wouldn't have been my first competitive game because I was about 10 or 11 when I went to Liverpool for the first time, but I would have been about 13 or 14. So it was Prem days.
Mid-90s, early, late 90s?
Yeah. I would have said 96, 97.
Yeah.
And, but I always remember Kevin Campbell just being... bearing in mind he was an away player at Coventry. I remember him just being just the nicest guy, great big smile, and he'd do anything for the kids that are waiting to sign. He came
across like that, didn't he? So I remember, I think that was my first, don't know if it's the same one, that would be ironic if it was. My first Coventry game was Coventry v Everton.
Oh, really?
0-0 draw. Can't remember it that well. It must have been 95, I think.
Yeah, okay.
But no, joined the Cobblers, and even though it was short-lived, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah,
so
good bunch down there.
Good bunch, really good club. Really want want to look after the local community. They really, you hear this a lot in football, family run club, which it really is.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows everyone, etc. And again, that was my main aim, was to kind of the local business focus, to really get the local businesses back on side a little bit. To get the hospitality.
We were down there in the Toller Suite, and it's great down there. I thought forgive me, who's the gentleman that plays the guitar just in the background? You got the little music, the musician.
It's actually an agency from Birmingham. They supply different guys every week.
It's not the same guy. Okay, so lovely little addition. Just sometimes when you're at these hospitality venues, you're a bit of an icebreaker, but just
background music,
a bit
kind of, you can't just hear the dull.
Tom Cliff with the world class stand-up bingo. Him and his mum, I love them. They're brilliant. Yeah. So no, it's good. I like it in there. It's good fun.
It is, and with the new stand being open January, I think it's going to elevate where the club's going to go. I think it's a big season for them this year, and to stay up. If they stay up this year, I don't think they've ever stayed up 2 years in a row in League One. I think with the new stand opening, it can really elevate where the club wants to go. But back to my journey, we had a chat, 2 weeks ago? 3
a bit longer than that.
Well, final chats 2 or 3 weeks ago, and where you want to take all things business. I was really excited by the challenge. I think 2025 is going to be really going to push your business where you want it to go, where I want it to go, and the team where we think we can take it. So that's a bit about my journey, really.
Good man,
and to get here today.
And then, of course, with you, Nick.
Hello.
You're joining us in the giant capacity.
Yeah,
and I'm not on about this.
Yeah. No, I've been working on that.
We would make a good front row, actually, us three.
We would. Yeah.
But I always said if I went to the front row, that's when I'd stop playing.
But Nick, you're joining us as Giant as business development director. So yes. I'm sure many of our viewers will know your dulcet tones and know your face.
Sorry, viewers.
But yeah, just tell people that perhaps haven't heard of you before. Just give a bit of a background about you.
Well, I've run businesses for best part of 30 years, mostly in the agency space. Done quite a lot of stuff with technology as well. So I've started up some technology businesses, sold one which was quite lucrative. So that was good. So yeah, I've been networking in Milton Keynes predominantly for best part of 30 years. So it's safe to say I know quite a few people.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, for the last 8 years or so, I've chaired the Milton Keynes Business Leaders Partnership. And many of your viewers will probably know that, but the most obvious thing that we do, much the same as you do over here, is we do the Milton Keynes Business Achievement Awards, which last year was 750 people in the arena, and it was its 10th year. So again, through that, I get to know a huge number of people.
And our coming together, because we've sort of been friends through business, if you like, for a number of years now.
Yeah,
I mean,
many
the first year it was probably about 8 or 9 years ago when I first came to tell you about all things business. Yeah. But it sort of come about because of our mutual passion for business and education with the Milton Keynes Education Awards.
Well, that's right. You bought the Milton Keynes Education Awards in year one, and I was a judge, which I was very pleased to be. And the theme this year of the Business Achievement Awards is bridging the gap, skills and agenda for the future workforce. And it's super important. I think we've both identified that, especially in the state sector, there isn't the money to give the opportunities to, firstly, to all the kids that deserve it, which is all of the kids, and secondly, to generate a workforce of people that businesses need and are demanding. So that's one of the reasons why I chose the theme for the Business Achievement Awards this year. But it's the work that you've done on the Education Awards, and I know your backstory with your mother being a teacher, etc.
Yeah.
So it's
there's
important.
a lot of synergy there, isn't there?
Absolutely, and businesses need to get. We can't just, as business owners, demand that our education establishments produce the people that they need. Not only do they need to be told what we need, we also need to play our part in giving work experience and opportunities to.
Sometimes it's going into schools as well. It's actually just going in and delivering an assembly, and that doesn't have to be year 9, 10, 11, or even 6th form was sometimes it's primary. I mean, I went out to Slated Row a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Wonderful school in Milton Keynes. I think it's Old Wolverton. I think
it is. Yeah,
Old Wolverton. I came out of there like really humbled and thankful actually for what those individuals do in that school. Not just the teachers and non-teaching staff. Do an amazing job, and we've now we're working with them. They're, as you know, they're doing. I don't think I told you, Chris, but they're designing with our studio team our Christmas cards for the MKAs.
Okay.
Which we're going to send out as a bit of a save the date for the 2025 awards, but to every school in Milton Keynes, because I'm hoping Slated Row have really enjoyed the project in terms of briefing the children, the pupils, coming together, working on a couple of different designs, and hopefully they'll get great satisfaction when they see it come to life.
Exactly what I'm talking about. Imagine, maybe there's some designers of the future.
Yeah,
exactly. They're getting some experience, understanding what taking a brief is about.
Yeah.
Super important.
So, where did you go to school, Chris?
I went to Guilsborough.
Did you? Guilsborough Academy.
Guilsborough School when it was back in the day, but it was quite a well thought after school back when I was there. So I don't know what happened to me, but thoroughly enjoyed my time at school.
Yeah. Did you have a stand-up teacher? Because I think
I had a couple. Well, it's a funny story going. Well, it's not going around. So I used to get on with my PE teacher really well. It was Scott Moore, his name was, Mr. Moore. He was a big Man City fan. And he once...
There's two then.
Sorry. And he once came around to my parents' house for dinner because he took me to Man City Coventry on a Wednesday night at Highfield Road. We beat them 4-3. You'd never get away with that now, would you? No. A teacher taking a pupil. I must have been year 11, but you'd never get away.
4 or 5.
I thought I'd just put that in. No, I was year 11 and above. Yeah, but you always remember the good teachers, don't you? And
the ones.
And the ones you learn in, you always engage with the teachers, didn't you? I remember my maths teacher, Mr. Davis. He was really good and made the lessons fun.
Play a big part of kids' lives because kids. They probably spend more time at school during Monday to Friday than what they do at home, awake, so to speak. Yeah. A bit like with us as a team, you spend more time at work than what you do at home with your family Monday to Friday. And I think I always like to ask that question to people because similar with me, Mr. Dabbs and Mr. Petty at school. Well, Mr. McDougall was amazing. He was a history teacher. But Dabbs and Petty, who I still see, if I see him now, I call him Sir. Because if I didn't, they'd probably click around the ear. And you could do that back when I was at school. But they were PE teachers. And I remember them getting on the phone, sorting out work experience.
Yeah.
Whereas, again, that doesn't happen now.
No.
Mine would have been a PE teacher as well, Gary Hadlington. So he saw something in me, I guess, that others didn't. Probably that I was prepared to go and do all of his hard work for him. But he made me captain of the rugby side, and I'd never played rugby.
Oh, really?
So the first game I ever played, I was captain. And there's all these lads that have played forever, but he chose me, which was good. And I don't see him so much now, but he's still knocking about. Cedars in Leighton Buzzard. Okay. So it was just stopped being the grammar school. So it very much had those old grammar school traditions. Still, it was all about rugby and I went on a skiing trip with him. Just me, a mate of his, and me and my mate, and we were sixth form.
And it's nice to hear that it actually happened, and you actually grew a friendship and respected your.
But to your point about them organising work experience, I was talking to the principal of Sir Herbert Leon Academy in Milton Keynes last year, but she was explaining a lot of her students are newly settled families in Milton Keynes. They don't have the network. If I ever needed to, if my kids needed work experience, I'd pick up the phone to one of my contacts. Yeah. Easy. Yeah, of course, Nick. But if you've just settled in this country and you don't know anybody, how are you supposed to give?
Pretty daunting.
How are you supposed to give your kids opportunities when it's your responsibility to find them opportunities? So, and that's where I come from, on the fairness side of things as well. I just think there must be so much talent that's untapped in our communities, which should be tapped for fairness, but also for the benefit of the country. Christ, I mean, we're struggling to improve our productivity. Well, maybe we need to be uncovering the talent we've got.
I usually sometimes, if you're getting the train north or south from Milton Keynes, from Northampton, from Wellingborough, Kettering, I always think to myself, and as you both know, I'm in London every Thursday out of the London office, but I always think, I wonder what they do for a job.
Yeah.
Like how much talent is leaving where we live to go south or north. And I get the lifestyle, and I get there are some specialised industries and jobs, etc. I get that. But I wonder how many of them could actually do that work or that job for a business that's in Milton Keynes or Northamptonshire.
Locally,
because they're two very significant rail links. If you look at, EMR, Wellingborough, I mean, you'll do well to get a seat on the train now. Things are sort of back to, should we say, normal. Anything after 6:56, before 8:30, you'll do well to get a chair, a seat. Similar for Milton Keynes, and I just wonder how many of them are maybe doing a job that they could be doing for a business that's in MK already or in N. So, but yeah, it's interesting. So, Chris, I'm going to put you on the spot now, Chris. I'm probably going to ask you a similar question, Nick. So, what are you looking forward to? We've obviously got the awards coming up this week.
Yeah.
But by the time this goes out, the awards would have taken place. So what are the three things you're looking forward to getting your teeth stuck into over the next 6 months?
Okay, good question. So obviously the awards, I think being able to work one, introduce myself properly in front of everyone. What's it, about 420 people?
489, I think.
489.
I think,
fine.
yeah, 489 or 488.
Yeah, so that'll be a really exciting night. 2025, obviously the chats we've had over, I think the new features that we're going to bring into 2025, what you want to bring to the company, what we can bring to Milton Keynes and Northampton as a publication. Northamptonshire, sorry.
Can't forget the
rest of
Northamptonshire.
Well, I should have, because I'm one of those shires. And just really growing as a company, as a publication. I think there's a lot to look forward to in 2025. Working with Nick closely. Really,
that can't be a highlight, surely.
Listen, Ben sold you well to me. What you can do in MK, I'm literally going to bounce off you. So, no, it's going to be. I'm really looking forward to the challenge. I think it's going to be a challenge. Of course, it is. I'm going to learn. Be a sponge off you, but I think give me a couple of months. I think I have to get the awards and getting this kind of season out, and then January we're really going to hit the ground running. And
team, everyone's giving you a warm welcome. So far.
Brilliant! You know what? That's always your worry, isn't it? So obviously, I've known you, Ben, for many years, but you always worry going into a new environment, a new office, what people are going to be like. But everyone has been absolutely spot on, really welcoming, really warm. So no, I can't thank them enough.
Good stuff. And what about you then, Nick?
Well, yeah, I mean, same in some respects. Giant, I think it's safe to say, really well established in Northamptonshire. Maybe not so much in Milton Keynes, and the agency landscape there is always changing. I think there's an awful lot of opportunity to introduce Giant to my extensive network, and that's one of the things I'm really keen to do. So if you're watching this and you don't know about Giant, give me an email or a call, nick@gogiant.co.uk. That'll do. I am looking forward to the Business Achievement Awards, working with you, because obviously we have All Things Business as our media partner. Thank you very much. And then we have Skills and Learning category that the Milton Keynes Education Awards is sponsoring.
Yes.
And then a Design and Creativity Award that Giant is sponsoring. So that would be great to work with you on that and to push those brands again in Milton Keynes.
And I think that was where we wanted to, I suppose, put our walk the walk and be able to talk the talk as well, because Milton Keynes is a really important part of our business. But the business, as you've both seen in a short while, is quite diverse.
Yeah.
And some of your reactions that you've given me has led me to think, actually, maybe are we doing a good job of promoting ourselves, actually? You know, we do a great job in promoting other businesses and individuals and teams. What about us?
Well, I think there are two sorts of agencies. There are those that spend the whole time promoting them and maybe not so good working for clients, and then there's
Vice
all the other
versa.
agencies I've worked in, which are really good at working with their clients and crap.
Well, we need to be the
Promote
third.
Get themselves.
And
We need
we're
to be
gonna
the third one.
and we're going to be a third one now.
Well,
We're
both.
going to be both.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the last thing that I'm looking forward to, you asked for 3, is actually doing that work that we were doing with Dave the other
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Dave Thompson.
Yeah.
Dave Thompson.
really
Every day's a
good.
school day, and blimey, that was an eye
Really
opener.
So, as a bit
Definitely.
of context for those listening, Dave Thompson, who was on our podcast a couple of months ago, is just a phenomenal,
Unbelievable.
inspirational guy, and he very kindly agreed to do some sales training with us. Well, when I say sales training, it's just training, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
and really opened our eyes up. So we're committed now to, I think every Monday afternoon we're
Yeah.
going to do 90 minutes with him until the end of this year, and yeah, he's. I must admit, I left here last week, the fire in the belly,
said you
and
went
very
to fire in the belly.
focused.
You
got
Yeah,
something.
and
Yeah.
I got it,
Yeah.
and the session that we had last week, I think, really helped us to.
Well, it was awesome. I spent 30 years. Sorry, Ben.
No, go.
I spent 30 years selling
Yeah.
stuff, and you think you're good, and I think I am reasonable. But when he starts to tell you some of the techniques that he
Tweaks,
uses, he's
isn't
like,
it? Yeah.
But I think
That's
it's
good.
I think it's the way that you it's almost like changed my vision on conversations.
yeah,
It's not like the same. Even some of the stuff how I talk to my wife and the kids at home is sort of I think bloody hell, has that come as a result of that session with Dave? But yeah, he's a really
well, we've already, haven't we? We've
Yeah.
in a couple of emails I've sent.
yeah.
I've been thinking, and you picked up on it, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So
that subconscious.
if you're listening, Dave, it's
Yeah,
working
yeah,
already.
it was that.
just that slight tweak of the mindset, isn't it? Of how people,
Yeah.
how you want to engage with people, asking different
He's
questions.
such a positive guy.
Yeah.
We could do with a few more Dave
was,
Thompsons in this world.
Oh,
Yeah, we
just
could.
a bit.
If only
So
that-
anyway, they're the 3 things for
Yeah.
me, mate.
Good man. Right. Well, gents, we're going to bring this to a bit of an end. But before we do, I'll do this with all of our guests. If you have got dinner party for 4 tomorrow night, you plus 3 people, Chris. Who are you having? 3
Alive and dead,
people.
or just
Parcel present. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
He's going to go with Steve Agrizovic.
No. Oh, one would be a Coventry player, because I'm a Cyril Regis. I'd love to sit down with, because he was when I was growing up, and what he's done to what he did in football and outside football.
Yeah,
I'd love
definitely.
to have he was one of my all-time favourites. Oh, you really have got me. Go on, you go. Let me have a think. Can you?
Well, yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? I'm a nerd, so I don't like to admit it. I've just admitted it to all your viewers, but I would probably go as scientists. So someone like, I mean, Einstein's the obvious choice, isn't it? But an Einstein or Hawking or someone that just blow my mind with stuff about, in particular, the universe and all that sort of stuff. I'd probably go an artist. So someone like Dali would be a shout, because he was a head case. And then we better go for a musician. So
Okay.
if I was going to go musician, I'd probably go Hendrix.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very, very funky table. That
yeah.
is. Go on, Chris. Follow that.
Oh, how do I? Listen, mine's so tiresome. I'm quite a simple guy.
It doesn't matter. This is your dinner table, mate.
I know.
But we got breakfast soon. Sorry,
I know. You've really,
Mind you, that was
isn't
quite a lad fest I had.
That is.
So
Wow. So only because what my mother, how she looked up to her, and I know it's probably a lot of people probably say this. A lot of people probably. So Princess Diana probably would be one. Even though growing up 2 miles from Orthorpe, she would probably and what she did just to have that 5-minute chat with someone like that would be pretty unbelievable. And then a third one, I was thinking of a musician as well. But
you can't have Hendrix. He's already coming to mind.
Controversial again, and just because I loved his music.
Go on then.
Michael Jackson. I think just because
MJ,
I just loved his music, and I know it'd probably be an indifferent conversation.
Yeah.
I think it would be a bit bit out there, but
No, that's your dinner table, mate.
That is a strange dinner table.
Right, well, listen, in a year's time, we'll redo this and we'll see if the dinner table... I've checked it on you at like lastminute.com, but that's the idea of it.
Of course it is, and you know what? I've never been asked that question.
There might be an AI version. You never know. There's an AI version of Parkinson now, isn't there?
Is there?
Yeah, Michael Parkinson. His son's done one. Yeah.
Okay.
It's always a good icebreaker for dinner table.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me that question. A gentleman called Terence Byrne. He used to own Progress Skoda, and there was 4 couples, and it was like when you, it's right, come on in. I didn't know whether or not to come out with maybe a couple of my.
You can come out if you like.
Well, one-liners, and he did that, and it
was yours?
Mate, mine changed depending on. Mine changed depending on the day of the week it is and where I'm eating and what the meal is. But we won't go there. That's another podcast. But it's always good because that kept us going all night. So anyway, gentlemen, welcome to the team.
Thank you.
We're delighted to have you.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to
really
what the future holds.
To it.
Cheers.
Take care.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.